Though Bill Gaither has been married to Gloria for decades and loved her deeply, things have been hard for him. He has also had to deal with some shocking problems that no one could have imagined. Bill recently told us about how, out of the blue, everything changed. When the news came out, everyone was shocked. Bill and Gloria had always been seen as the perfect couple, strong, united, and married. In both their personal and business lives, they were always together. They often let their fans see how close they were. What could have made Bill's life change so drastically? Come with us as we find out what really happened to Bill Gaither and how it all happened. For months, reports about Bill Gaither and his wife Gloria spread through the gospel music world that they were having problems in their marriage and were having legal problems. People used to think that the couple was the perfect example of a strong, unbreakable team, but all of a sudden rumors started to spread about them. Fans had seen their relationship grow over the years and started to notice small changes. Bill was missing more and more public events. The couple only showed up together a few times a year and they didn't seem as close as they used to. Bill used to be on stage all the time and lead the church, but things started to change and quickly reports spread that something wasn't right. There were first only a few whispers. Fans and experts talked about Bill's health and wondered if he wasn't there because he was having health problems. Over time, these rumors got stronger because the couple was spending less and less time together in public and didn't want to talk about it. Some people said that the stress of their work and Bill's health problems were making their marriage worse. Some people gave hints about deeper, more personal problems. There were reports that they might have been cheating on each other, having money problems, or being in trouble with the law, all of which could have been hurting their relationship. For a long time, the pair had been seen as the epitome of faith and love. Many people were wondering if they had finally broken up behind closed doors. Gloria's friends were worried because she was speaking out in public less and less. She had always been honest about her relationship with him, but in recent appearances she seemed more guarded. More than anything else, she talked about the work they were doing together. For some fans, it meant that something had changed. Others thought the couple had just had enough of the stress of living such a public life. But the stories that kept going around were about Bill possibly having legal problems. For a long time, the gospel music star had been praised for his work. Now he was being accused of everything from mismanaging money to more serious, even criminal behavior. Officially, these claims were never proven, but the rumors kept spreading, making fans wonder if Bill's problems were worse than anyone thought. At the heart of these stories was a disturbing question: were Bill and Gloria's problems caused by outside forces, or were they caused by something more serious? As time went on, rumors about their marriage and personal lives grew stronger. Fans wondered how long the pair could keep up the appearance of being a perfect family while dealing with these growing problems behind the scenes. When you get divorced, how Bill and Gloria felt and how their family reacted when the news of Bill and Gloria Gaither's split came out, it shocked everyone in the gospel music world. For decades, the couple had been seen as the perfect example of a strong team that could not be broken. Millions of fans looked up to them as an example of faith, love, and working together. They were the basis of Daystar and the face of their mission. They had always thought their relationship was great because they both had the same goals for their music and mission. It was hard to believe that they had broken up. Many of their fans felt like an age was coming to an end. They had seen them grow as a family and left behind a memory. Bill had a lot to think about after his breakup. He had always been the one to stand tall in front of crowds and lead them in prayer while spreading hope and faith. His job was based on the idea of family values and his caring long-term relationship with Gloria. For him, seeing that fall apart was more than just painful. It felt like giving up on everything he stood for. He had always been the one to help others and give them advice, but now he was the one who needed it. He had to accept that his life with Gloria was no longer the picture-perfect life he had built. While giving interviews after the breakup, Bill was quiet but very sad. "It's been the hardest thing I've ever done," he said. "Gloria is the love of my life, and it breaks my heart to think that we won't be able to share our lives together like we used to. To be healthy, we both knew we had to go our separate ways." His voice didn't sound angry, but there was a strong sense of loss. He wasn't mad at Gloria, he was sad about the end of something very important to him. "We still love each other," he said, but his voice was shaking. But love doesn't always mean staying together, especially when things have changed so much. Gloria was also very upset about the breakup. Gloria knew that her relationship with Bill wasn't the same as it used to be, even though they had built something that changed the face of Christian music together. The decision to divorce wasn't easy, she admitted. "Bill and I were partners in everything: our ministry, our music, and our family. We lost sight of what we had, though, somewhere along the way. We really did try. Life can be hard sometimes, and love alone isn't enough to get through it." For Gloria, the emotional weight of the divorce was compounded by the public nature of it all. She had always been private about their personal life, sharing only what she felt comfortable with. Now the world was watching, waiting for an explanation. Fans who had admired their relationship for so long were left with more questions than answers. "It's hard," she admitted, "but I need to keep in mind that this isn't just about our marriage. It's also about us as people. Let's both take some time to heal and figure out what we want from life again." As you might expect, Bill and Gloria's family had a range of reactions. Their children, who had grown up in the public eye, had a hard time with the choice. They had always seen their parents as a unit, as a team that worked together in every part of their lives. It was terrible to see that end. In an interview, their son, who had always been close to both parents, said, "It's hard to see them like this, but I understand. Both of them have been through a lot. I only care about their happiness, no matter what that means." Their daughter felt the same way and said she hoped Bill and Gloria could find peace and get better after everything that had happened. "It's going to take time," she said, her voice full of doubt. "But we'll all make it through." Bill's siblings also spoke out about how shocked and upset they were about the split. "I never thought I'd see the day," said one of Bill's brothers. "They were always so strong together, but life happens and things don't always go as planned." Another sister said they had seen signs that the relationship was getting tense, but never thought it would get this bad. "It's heartbreaking," they said, "but both Bill and Gloria are strong people. They'll figure it out. They've always done that." Fans were shocked when they heard about Bill and Gloria's divorce. They had been fans for years and admired how committed they were to each other and their religion. Their relationship was both a sign of hope and a partnership in service. It was hard for some fans to believe that they had broken up. "This can't be true," one fan wrote on social media. "They've always been such a strong couple. How is this possible?" However, some fans were more understanding. They were sad, but they knew that relationships can be hard. "It's sad, but they're both human," one fan wrote. "We don't know what goes on behind closed doors. I hope they both get better and are happy." Media outlets also had a great time with the news. They talked a lot about the divorce and tried to figure out why it happened. Some thought that Bill's health problems and the stress of their public life caused them to break up, while others pointed to rumors that Bill might have had legal problems and said that the stress of those problems might have led to the end of their marriage. The media loved to guess, but the truth stayed out of reach. In interviews, Bill and Gloria refused to go into specifics about why they were divorcing, preferring to keep their personal problems between them. Despite the fact that their divorce was public, both Bill and Gloria stayed committed to their own healing journeys. Bill focused on his recovery, both physically and emotionally, taking time away from the spotlight to rest and reflect. Gloria, too, spent time focusing on herself, finding strength in her faith and her family. As hard as it was, both Bill and Gloria knew they had to move on, even if that meant doing so separately. Their love of ministry and music would always be a part of them, but their own journeys were now leading them in different directions. For Bill, getting better meant more than just healing from his injuries. It meant accepting the end of an important chapter in his life. For Gloria, it meant rediscovering who she was outside of being Bill's wife and partner. Both of them had built their lives on faith, but now it would have to help them through one of the hardest times of their lives. When news of Bill and Gloria Gaither's divorce came out, the media jumped on it. For decades they had been one of the most beloved couples in gospel music, known for how well they worked together in marriage and ministry. The news shocked their fans, but it was just the start of a media storm. The rumors started almost right away, and with each new headline, the speculation about the real reasons behind their divorce got stronger. At first, the coverage mostly focused on the emotional side of the divorce. People couldn't understand how such a strong faith-based partnership could end. Reporters wondered what could have gone wrong between the Gaithers, who had spent years working together to build a ministry that had touched millions of lives. Some stories focused on the couple's marriage, saying that they just grew apart over time, with the pressures of their public life taking a toll on their private relationship. This made sense to some, and for a while the media seemed happy with this simple explanation. As the days went by, though, the story started to get more complicated. There were rumors that Bill might be in trouble with the law, and all of a sudden the focus was on the accusations that were being made against him. Bill had always been seen as a man of faith and honesty, but some news outlets started to look deeper into his finances and personal dealings, finding stories that had been kept from the public. For example, there were rumors that Bill was being investigated for possible financial misconduct, such as mismanagement of ministry funds. There were rumors of embezzlement, money being sent to offshore accounts, and other shady financial dealings that had been kept secret for years. These rumors were not backed up by evidence, but they were still believed by the media. As the rumors about Bill's money problems spread, the media started to make connections between them and the end of his marriage. One theory was that Bill's legal problems and the stress of dealing with them had put a huge strain on his relationship with Gloria. People close to the couple said that the accusations had caused them to grow apart, and some even said that Bill's behavior had become unstable because of the stress of keeping his money problems a secret had affected his mental health and maybe even led him to do things that Gloria couldn't support anymore. Gloria was shocked and confused by the media's theories. She had always kept her personal life private, especially when it came to their marriage. There were doubts about Gloria's marriage, which had been based on years of trust and shared faith. She had always been by Bill's side through every problem, and now she had to deal with both the emotional toll of the divorce and the harsh criticism from the media. "I never expected this," she said in one of the few interviews she gave during the fallout. "The media has been relentless. They have no idea what we've been through. Even though we were having personal problems, it hurts a lot to have rumors tear apart everything we've worked for." She said that their marriage had had problems over the years, as any relationship would, but she strongly rejected the more sexy stories. "We've had problems like everyone else, but to say it's all about money or a scandal is just not true," Gloria said. "Bill and I are the only ones who know the whole story." Despite her denials, the media continued to paint a picture of a troubled marriage. They focused on every little detail, finding holes and inconsistencies in what Bill and Gloria said in public. They read between the lines of their interviews, looking for signs of deeper problems that hadn't been talked about. Some news outlets even showed how Bill's public life as a religious leader seemed to be different from the life he was allegedly living behind the scenes. His reputation as a strong Christian leader and the accusations against him created a scandal that interested both his supporters and opponents. Theories were plentiful. Some said that Bill's legal problems were the real reason for the divorce, while others said that Gloria had had enough of living in the public eye and the stress it caused. One particularly shocking theory said that Gloria had known about Bill's financial problems for years but had kept quiet to protect their reputation. As more rumors spread about Bill's behavior during this time, they said that he had been emotionally distant from Gloria and focused on his legal battles. Some even suggested that he had been cheating on Gloria, though these claims were never proven. Bill, for his part, stayed mostly silent as the accusations grew. It was a surprise to him how much attention he was getting from the media. "I've always believed in the importance of faith and integrity," he said in one of his few public comments during the divorce. I can't control what other people say or think, but I know the truth. This situation has been tough, and it's been tough on my family and me, but I'm determined to make things right." The rumors got worse over the next few weeks. Some news sites spread false reports saying that Bill had been arrested or was facing charges that would land him in jail, even though neither of those things had happened. People were interested in every news story, even when there wasn't any solid evidence. Many fans who had once looked up to Bill as an example began to doubt everything they thought they knew about him. Some were quick to defend him, pointing out his years of service to the gospel community, while others felt betrayed. The legal rumors reached their peak when it was said that Bill was being investigated for serious financial misconduct. One source said that federal investigators were looking into allegations of embezzlement from his ministry, which could lead to charges that could land him in jail. Bill's lawyers later denied these claims, but by that time the damage had already been done. The media had already painted Bill as someone who had abused the trust of his followers, and it was hard for many fans to connect the Bill Gaither they had admired with the man in the news. Gloria was also deeply affected by the media frenzy. Even though she stood by Bill, she felt terrible for him as she watched the attention from the public tear him apart. "This is so much bigger than just our marriage," she said with tears in her eyes. "This is about our family, our ministry, and everything we've worked for. We'll get through it, even though it's been hard enough dealing with our own problems without all of this extra stress. We need to." The media, on the other hand, wouldn't stop talking about them. Every detail of their lives seemed to be out there for everyone to see. Even their personal statements were read carefully to find hidden meanings or clues about why they were splitting up. As rumors about Bill's legal problems spread, the media became obsessed with every possible angle of their story. Fans were stuck between their loyalty to Bill and Gloria and the claims that made their marriage look very different. What had been a story of love and faith had become a sensationalized spectacle that didn't leave room for the truth to fully emerge. For Bill and Gloria, the battle was far from over. The emotional scars from the divorce would take time to heal, and the media would continue to hound them as they navigated the fallout. The legal troubles, while still lingering in the background, were something that Bill and his team would have to face in the coming months. But for now, they both had to focus on what mattered most: taking care of themselves and their family and finding a way to move forward no matter what the media said. More rumors surrounding Bill's marriage and personal life as the media storm surrounding Bill and Gloria Gaither's divorce continued to unfold. The rumors grew more widespread and complicated. What had once been a shocking but somewhat simple announcement of a separation quickly turned into a full-blown media frenzy, with new theories and accusations surfacing daily. The public, eager for answers, began to dissect every aspect of Bill's life and marriage, searching for the hidden details that might explain why a relationship that seemed so perfect had come to an end. What began as whispers quickly turned into loud, uncontrollable rumors that made Bill's personal and professional. The first rumors were about Bill's health. Fans had been worried for a while because he wasn't showing up to as many public events and performances as he used to. When he did, he seemed tired or uncomfortable, which made people wonder if he was sick or hiding something serious from his fans. His wife Gloria had talked briefly about his health problems in interviews, but she had never gone into detail. Some said Bill had been dealing with an undisclosed health problem for years that was starting to affect him both physically and emotionally. Others said the stress of running their ministry and their music career had worn Bill down to the point of mental and physical collapse. Was Bill just too tired to keep up with the demands of his public life? Had the weight of his responsibilities made him pull away from the spotlight? As these questions lingered, new rumors started to spread. As investigators looked into Bill's finances, a new story started to spread. Some news outlets said that Bill had been involved in shady financial dealings, specifically within his ministry.
The rumors included claims of embezzlement and the idea that Bill had been using the ministry's funds for personal. These rumors didn't make sense, but the media kept reporting on them as if they were true. Investigators were said to be looking into Bill's finances, looking at the flow of money through Daystar and other ministry projects. There was a lot of talk about offshore accounts, missing funds, and bad financial management. The lawyers for Bill disputed these claims and said that the ministry's funds were honest, but the damage had already been done. There were reports that Bill was having money problems which took away from the personal parts of the divorce. The media's attention turned to whether or not he could face legal consequences. Along with these reports about Bill's health and money, new ones started to spread about the couple's private life. Some people who knew Bill and Gloria said that their marriage had been in trouble for years, even before they announced they were divorcing.